Have you ever reached a point in your relationship where you weren't angry anymore? You weren't fighting anymore? You weren't even trying to win anymore? You were just tired? And not tired for a day, not tired for a week, but soul tired, right down to the bone. The kind of tired where another conversation feels too exhausting. Another argument feels pointless. Another repair attempt feels impossible. And another disappointment feels expected. You still love them. At least you think you do, but you don't know how much longer you can keep carrying this. And that's what makes relationship burnout so dangerous. Because burnout doesn't just look dramatic, it looks quiet. People stop reaching, they stop initiating, they stop hoping, they stop trying, and eventually they start wondering, is this relationship dying? I want to give you some hope in this video because burnout is not the end of a relationship, but it is a warning sign. A warning sign that the relationship has been consuming more emotional energy than it's been creating. And if that imbalance continues long enough, even good people start pulling away. Today, I'm going to show you 4 key things to give you that hope. First, how relationships become burned out. Why burnout is different than incompatibility, the 5 stages of rebuilding after relationship burnout, and what a secure relationship feels like on the other side of that. Let's get right into it. First, many people think that relationship burnout comes from one big event, and usually it doesn't. It comes from thousands of small moments, tiny disappointments, tiny disconnections, tiny ruptures, tiny frustrations, injuries that never fully heal. Eventually, the relationship begins operating at an emotional deficit. More energy is leaving than entering. The couple spends years consuming trust, consuming patience, consuming hope, without ever replenishing them. Eventually, one or both partners begins asking, what am I getting back for everything that I'm putting in? And they're not wrong to ask that because this system is just not sustainable long term. Burnout, then, is what happens when emotional withdrawals exceed emotional deposits for far too long. This is what psychologist John Gottman might call the emotional bank account model. So if you're watching right now and you're nodding and saying, yeah, Adam, this is me, what do I do about it? Let me give you 5 steps to follow that can help you overcome your relationship burnout and build the kind of relationships you've always wanted all along. Step 1 is to stop the bleeding. Now, most burned out couples immediately try to rebuild, and that's usually way too early. First, you have to stop making things worse. That means identifying a few key things. First, the recurring fights, the recurring injuries, the recurring misunderstandings, and especially the recurring attachment triggers. Before you build something new, you have to stop damaging what's left. Many couples are trying to refill a bucket that still has holes in the bottom. Recovery only begins when the damage slows down. You cannot really heal the body while the injury is still happening. You have to stop that damage first. Same thing in a relationship. Identify your recurring fights and then resolve to stop them as a couple, or implement a new process from your side that does not allow them to continue. You have to contain the bleed. You don't even have to fix the problems yet, but you need to stop the damage first. Once you can stop that damage, you enter step 2, recreating safety. This is where attachment really enters the conversation. This matches Dr. Stephen Porges's vagal theory, which says that felt safety, the vagal ventral state or co-regulation, is the physiological precondition for connection. Most burnout relationships are not suffering from a lack of love, they're suffering from a lack of safety. People stop opening up because opening up becomes expensive and painful. People stop being vulnerable because vulnerability doesn't feel safe anymore. People stop trying because trying stopped working. So the goal here is not romance yet. The goal is safety. You get safety from asking more questions so you understand each other. Now, questions that you should be asking are questions like, can I tell you the truth? Can I disagree with you? Can I have needs? Can I make mistakes? Can we repair after conflicts? Can we make things better again? Can we pause when we're angry and come back better? These questions need to have better answers than they currently do. Currently, the answers to all of this is no. You need yes. You need to build that yes together. Connection only grows where safety exists. So all those questions I just laid out need to be turned to a yes for both of you. Now, quick check-in here. The couple who doesn't know how to communicate anymore without starting a fight. The couple who's burned out and exhausted. The husband who just doesn't know what to say because he's going to make her mad again. The wife who has just stopped trying because he's not going to listen. If this sounds familiar, it's probably not a you problem. It's an attachment problem. And my team and I have 5 ways that we can help. First, the Secure Circle, the free community I've built for deeper learning on this and so many other topics. Come in, join, and we can help. Second, the free attachment styles quiz that I've made available. It shows you which attachment style is impacting your ability to connect right now. I also have the Secure Circle Plus with weekly masterclasses training you in the skills and approaches you need to build great relationships. Exercises to get you go from learning into doing. Skill demonstrations with my certified attachment coaches, role-playing out scripts to show you what to do and say to be successful, and instant access to my best video attachment courses included as part of your membership. I also have training programs for groups targeting specific attachment challenges, the most common ones that people face, including how to build a secure marriage or how to rebuild trust together as a couple. And finally, if you want personal coaching for guided one-on-one assistance to help resolve your unique situation and your personal challenges, my certified attachment coaches are available for that as well. The links for everything I've mentioned are down in the description below. Select whichever one feels like the right place to get started and go. Or contact my team and we will help you find that next step together. Once you've completed step 2, step 3 is to restore trust together through small wins. Most people try to rebuild trust with big promises, but trust rarely grows through promises. Trust grows through evidence, tiny evidence, repeated evidence, consistent evidence. The burned out nervous system does not need a grand gesture. It needs proof. Proof that today is different than yesterday and proof that change is possible. Proof that hope is not foolish. This only happens through hundreds of small moments, not one big dramatic one. Trust is built in drops and lost in buckets. You must build a system that replenishes the trust between you consistently. Now, once you have that system in place, step 4, reintroduce vulnerability. This is where you start loving each other again. Once safety begins returning, something beautiful becomes possible. People start telling the truth again, and not the polite truth, the real truth, the scared truth, the lonely truth, the disappointed truth, the hopeful truth. Many burned out couples stop sharing themselves long before they stop sharing a house or a bed. This is where emotional intimacy begins returning. This is why vulnerability is not the first step. It's the reward for creating safety. This matches with Sue Johnson's emotion-focused therapy model, which indicates that vulnerability becomes possible once the cycle de-escalates and safety returns. Once you have that intimacy established again, step 5 is to finally build a new relationship, not just rebuild the old one. This is where many couples get stuck. They keep trying to return to the old relationship they used to have. Often that's the wrong goal entirely because the old relationship produced relationship burnout. The goal here is not restoration of what was. The goal is transformation, a healthier relationship, a more secure relationship, a more honest relationship, a more intentional relationship. The healthiest couples, they do not rebuild the past. They build something better together. Now, this is the part that people rarely talk about. Most people don't know what recovering together and building something better even looks like. Many people imagine constant happiness, endless romance, maybe no conflict ever, perfect communication, but none of that is realistic. Recovery often actually feels like relief, breathing easier, not walking on eggshells. It's looking forward to seeing each other every day. It's feeling understood, feeling chosen, feeling safe enough to really relax. The relationship stops feeling like work and starts feeling like home. The opposite of relationship burnout then is not excitement. It's peace. It's the kind of peace that lets you explore passion and adventure together without fear. Now, at this point, many of you will realize, Adam, we understand the problem. That's great. But understanding isn't the same as changing because attachment patterns live in your nervous system, not just the intellect. That's why couples often need guidance, community, practice, accountability, and especially new experiences that show them what's actually possible and retrain the nervous system. This is not about trying harder. It's about learning differently. Now, if you're burned out right now, I want you to hear something very important. Burnout does not automatically mean the relationship is over. It means the relationship has been running an emotional deficit for far too long. And deficits can usually be repaired. I've watched couples come back from places that looked impossible to other people. I've watched exhausted spouses become hopeful again. I've watched disconnected marriages become intimate again. Not because someone finally found the perfect communication technique, but because they learned how to create safety again. And that's exactly why I built the Secure Circle Plus community, because rebuilding a relationship requires more than information. It requires practice, support, skills, and secure experiences. Join us in this community if you're ready to start recovering your relationship with a whole new approach. And for those of you who want direct guidance, my certified attachment coaching team is available to help you apply these principles to your specific relationship and your circumstances. Whether you want community, coaching, or both, we are here to help. The links are in the description below. And I have an exciting new thing to offer you. Our training groups are now launching. These are the most common attachment problems people overcome again and again and again. We've built them into accelerated training programs that you and maybe your spouse can go through together and resolve your attachment issues for good. We include masculine, feminine, all of those pieces for individuals, or rebuilding trust as a couple as well. There's so many programs to go through. Check them out in the link below. Most relationships do not die because people stop loving each other. They die because people become too exhausted to keep reaching for each other. And exhaustion can be repaired. You just need to know how to do it. We're here to help you when you're ready. And if you want to learn more about how to build secure attachment for the whole of your life, even if you don't have kids or if your kids won't talk to you, I just launched a free deep dive video explaining everything you need to know inside my free Secure Circle community. Come check that free video out and learn more at the Secure Circle link in the description below. Thank you for watching. And remember, don't just learn about secure attachment, practice it.